We're going to take a look at the radar and talk about the flooding rains that continue in the eastern half of the U.S.
AccuWeather's Julia Weiden is keeping an eye on all of it.
Good morning, Candace and Diane. That threat for severe storms is now shifting off to the south and east. Good morning. The heat is finally breaking in the northeast as a cold front moves through.
I do want to go back to what you mentioned a little bit ago with regards to the front right quadrant of a storm and how that's the area that we tend to watch when it comes to the potential for supercells and for tornadoes.
Bernie, Laura, good morning. The first big storm of 2019 is underway here in Warren, Vermont.
A lot of moisture coming in off the Atlantic here, causing that humidity to stay in place. So expect it to be a sticky 75 degrees. There is still more rain farther off to the north and west, but the radar site that we're looking at is coming in from South Point, which is the southernmost point of the big island of Hawaii. I want to ask you first, do you tend to see different types of problems from the cold in the wintertime than you would maybe in other seasons?
We do.
That's indicating that not only do we have heavy rain, but we also have some pretty high gusting winds, and that's getting ready to move on in towards Little Rock. It can be a traumatic event for an adult to deal with, let alone a child. Do you have any ideas or any ways to help get kids prepared for a disaster like this where they might have to leave their home?
Yeah, thankfully FEMA and many of its partners are working on this.
We continue to have this surge of moisture coming in this nice well-formed band. Let's go ahead and check that out. Now you're seeing a lot of color on your radar, lots of yellows and reds. That's indicating the heavy downpours. I want to take you to Maine right now because this is an area that we're watching for flash flooding. We can pop your warnings onto your screen, and where you get those little green boxes is where we have the concern for flash flooding. I want to point out just off to the north and west of Portland, Maine, there is a report of a motorist that is currently being rescued due to flooding on a roadway. Police are currently working on that situation right now. So this is a situation that we need to take very seriously because, again, flooding is a major concern. We take you back down towards New York City and Philadelphia. The majority of the rain is off to the north and west of the major city. So if you're up into northern New Jersey, if you're perhaps working your way through parts of Reading or Hazeltown, that's where those downpours are more likely. Zooming out and taking you back down into Virginia, this is an area that we have been watching very closely. I specifically want to focus in on what's happening in Lynchburg. We've been telling you about this situation for about 24 hours right now, and you can see there's still rain working its way through the area. Thankfully, the College Lake Dam, the one that has been threatening to collapse, is still stable. It has not collapsed. There is still a flash flood warning in effect, though, for this area, and there likely will be one as we head on through tonight and into Saturday. Our big picture, our setup that we have happening right now, the one that's causing all this rain to occur, is an area of high pressure that's out over Bermuda, and that is steering in all of this moisture from the Gulf of Mexico. As we head on into the next couple of days, though, we'll get this back edge of drier air to start working its way through the north and east. So we'll be tapping into, again, the drier conditions back in that direction. A look at how much rain that's fallen today. You can see in parts of Pennsylvania, we've picked up over 3 inches. That was the case in Lamont. Flash flood watches are still in effect into Saturday throughout a lot of the Northeast. That especially is the case for those who are up into New England. We'll stay unsettled through the day on Saturday, again into New England especially, but then drier air will work its way on in. High pressure will take control on Sunday, but with winds coming in from the west, it will stay warm and it will stay humid. Your temperatures still in the 80s and 90s.